Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of A Pint with Friends. My name is Scott Smith, and last night Ray and Shannon and I sat down together and we sampled the Pod Pack from Vancouver Island Brewing. This was a pack that came out originally 2 years ago, and it was a collection of beers by different breweries on Vancouver Island and the Gulf Coast. And the goal was to raise awareness and raise some funds to help orca populations here on the West Coast and the Southern Gulf Coast Islands. And this year is no different. Last year this was there was plans to do a second pod pack, but it was of course derailed and impacted by COVID, as most everything was in this last year. So now they're back with new breweries, but the goal is the same: to help the Pacific Salmon Foundation, which is one of the main food sources of the endangered species of orca and killer whales here on the west coast of Canada. Researchers have made strong links to declining salmon stocks affecting the health and vitality of orcas. Chinook salmon represent the main food source of the average killer whale that must consume 18 to 25 adult salmon per day. So I just wanted to jump in here and give you a little bit more background. This was one of those scenarios where I made a joke about it, where I didn't do any research. And this is just something where I really, really wish I had, because this is a great cause. And in the podcast, we're really just strictly talking about the beers and whether we like them and what we thought about them. But I didn't have the background knowledge to really go in and explain about each of the beers, and I didn't find out the information until this morning when I started piecing the episode together. And I just really wanted to take that opportunity just to highlight the work that they are doing at the Pacific Salmon Foundation, the good work that Vancouver Island Brewing is doing to raise awareness to this project. In 2019, they actually raised $15,000 for the Pacific Salmon Foundation. And I just wanted to make sure that that didn't get glossed over, because I didn't do a good enough job, and I want to do better, and I want to provide you guys with some actual real information. And the podcast should really be about learning, not just sampling beers and having a great time, but if there is a cause behind something, I want to know and be better prepared so I can deliver that information to you. So just quickly, just a little bit of a rundown of the beers. The beers involved, the breweries are Buoy Brewing from Victoria. They make a beer called Mike. Solstice from Ace Brewing, which is in Courtenay, BC. Tahlequah, which is Mayne Island Brewing on Mayne Island. And Wave Walker, Ucluelet Brewing in Ucluelet, BC. Just quickly, there's one of the beers called Mike. I kind of made a joke. They all have fun names, and this one's just called Mike. Ha ha ha. The namesake of the scientist Dr. Mike Bigg, who is known for the father of killer whale research. And Mike, the whale, J26, is a 30-year-old member of the J-Pod who has two living siblings, Alki J36 and Echo J32, and one of the younger siblings passed away before the age of 4, which was Scarlet J50. So there's stories behind each of these beers, and there's actually an actual killer whale that's related to these beers. But if you are interested in it, there's a great article that Joe Weeb put together. He runs a website called bcaletrail.ca. I'm going to link to it here in the description, where you can get more information about each of the beers and the great cause to it, as well as I'm going to include the link that Joe put together where you can actually donate directly to the Pacific Salmon Foundation. So I invite you to listen to this podcast and find out what we thought of each of these 4 beers. They're certainly not the straight and narrow basic beers. They're a little bit more out there, and sometimes you win, sometimes you don't. But all in all, the beers are going for a great cause, so I'd really like you to listen to this episode with that in mind and take some action and help the salmon community thrive so that we can help the killer whales and orcas of the west coast of Canada. So thank you for listening, and without further ado, here is the episode. Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of A Pint with Friends. My name is Scott Smith.
I'm Shannon Smith.
And?
I'm Ray Smith, recently adopted street urchin.
You know, you are starting to really grow up and be a fine young man.
Aw, you're just saying
We're
that
very
because my
proud of
pants
it.
are
We're
off.
very proud of you.
We're very proud of us.
We're very proud of us for raising you.
Yeah.
Why, thank you.
We've done a great job.
Hell of a
But
job.
we need to get you off crack cocaine.
What? I thought baldness was my only problem.
It's your superpower.
I blind airplanes.
Oh, boy.
I like how you said crack cocaine.
Crack cocaine!
That's a different one there.
Who, by a show of hands, who here has done crack?
Not me.
Really?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
That
Wow.
is not how I thought this was going to go.
Oh, don't ask questions to
Yeah,
which you
don't-
don't want answers.
Don't
I have
ask,
a
don't
crack.
tell.
That's right. Whoa. Have you ever smoked it?
No. Be kind of hard.
Yeah.
Well,
Low smoke on it.
oh, boy. Oh, boy.
And
Let's
this
get
pint
to
is
the
called...
beverage. Let's
And
go
I'm coughing.
straight to our sponsor.
Oh,
Who
boy.
wants to follow that? There is no sponsor. Today's episode, we are going to be enjoying something called a pod pack from Vancouver Island Brewing.
Sent over by a pot of orcas.
That is how they deliver it.
We pick it up.
Yes. I knew about this pod pack years ago. Years ago, this was announced. I totally missed out on it. Then years went by and I forgot about it. So I don't know if they've been doing this every year since.
But is it different beer every
or
time?
if it's just back, or if it's just been brought back. So I don't know. And as always, I've done zero research.
Nice. Once you set a standard, you got to keep it.
Exactly.
You just
That
go
is the
in.
one thing I do
Yeah.
not fail at.
You just go in unknown.
Yeah. So the pod pack in the past has been a collaboration pack, and this one is no different. This has got 4 beers from 4 different breweries. Yes, they are Ucluelet Brewing, Mayne Island Brewing, Whistler Boy Brewing, and Ace Brewing. I'm not gonna lie that I have not heard of all 4 of these breweries.
Well, theirs.
But they don't even have a beer in this pack.
Why are they doing it then?
That fun.
Why are they doing it?
Yeah. So, you know why?
Do they all brew at their brewery, though?
To help the whales.
Oh, is it? Are they really small breweries that use other breweries to brew, and that's what they're doing?
No, I think they're all established breweries in their local region.
They have their own breweries?
And in the past they were all Vancouver Island breweries, but obviously Whistler is not located.
I think I thought it would make more sense if like they were brewing at their brewery and they just did like a pod pack of the people that brew there. Because other breweries brew other people's beers.
That is true, but I don't think that's the case. In this case,
There's no Whistler.
Yes, there is.
No, it just says Whistle Boy.
You are right. and I
Wow.
need my spectacles.
Yeah. Whistle Boy is really good.
Whistle Boy.
Is that the name of the brewery?
How dare I? Yeah.
Whistle Boy Brewery. Where's
Whistle
that
Boy.
at?
So
You were just creating drama
Trouble.
for no reason.
Trouble. Yeah.
Whistler Brewing came in
Or-
and just fucked with them.
Or we've just really shown again that I cannot read. I can read. I just read.
Selectively.
You can read. You just
read weller
You just
when I
need
wear my
your
glasses.
glasses.
Exactly.
Like we all need our glasses.
Oh boy. So let's get started.
I'm really thirsty, so we should.
Okay. So I think we should. Oh,
Ooh, just random.
random. I like
Random.
Somebody say stop.
it. Ray as the guest.
Stop. Ooh,
Hammer time.
ooh, pretty.
What'd you get? What'd you get?
Oh, I like the label on the bottle.
We picked the
On the
mic.
can.
A Rosé Pale Ale.
Ooh, from Whistle Boy.
From
That's a good
Whistle
one
Boy
to start
Brewing.
with.
5.2% alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
That's
So
I forgot to mention the packaging, how it has a cute little fin on the top.
does.
That was
That's
adorable.
Great packaging. Also, $1 from
on the
every
box.
pod pack purchased goes to help preserve wild Pacific salmon, the killer whale's most vital food resource. So right now we're helping whales, and
Salmon.
we're helping salmon.
And salmon get eaten by whales.
Yeah. So how does that help the salmon?
Here, that one's good.
It's
Oh, it's like a red color.
something right way.
Is it a red ale?
it's a rosé.
Rosé. Pretty. the color of blood water.
Would you wear a Rosé all day T-shirt? And
No.
Would you would you respect me less if I did?
Yes.
Okay.
No and yes.
That is the correct answer.
I wouldn't respect you less for wearing the T-shirt, but if you drank rosé all day, and I don't mean this beer, I'm talking about the wine varietals.
Right.
Rosé all day. I hate shirts with sayings like that. It makes me feel like females aren't thinking enough.
Does it make you
Like,
feel less?
I don't know. Like, when I was at the liquor store today buying that gin, they had a big, like a Capri Sun.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
They had a giant Capri Sun, but it was margaritas and it said "Girls' Night Out," and I just rolled my eyes. And it's a giant. You could stick a straw in it, but it clearly you share this.
Right.
So why would they have a shareable pack with a straw?
During COVID.
Yeah.
Ever?
But also girls' night out. But I should have taken a photo of it.
Yeah, you
we can
should've.
go back and get a photo,
You can.
and we can probably post it because
it to this
I just
podcast.
rolled my eyes when I saw that.
All right. Is it? How's the smell? Nothing magical about the smell.
I don't really smell much.
Not a lot going on.
It smells yummy.
Tasty though. Flavorful.
It's good. I mean, it's an ale.
Really upfront flavor.
Yeah.
But then the aftertaste kind of immediately fades away.
Aftertaste is kind of a little peppery.
Really?
I'm curious what makes it a rosé other than the color.
Color.
Probably.
No,
just
but
the color.
what colors it? It's a pale ale.
Mm-hmm. But don't they usually call these like a red ale?
Oh, there's rice.
can.
There's rice.
Oh.
Yeah, you got the label.
There's
Water,
rice in
barley,
it.
rice,
Yay.
hops, yeast, hibiscus,
Oh,
which is
okay.
a flower, and natural flavor.
There's definitely a bitterness at the end. Like they added hops, like hopped afterwards. Like,
Do you know that anything natural flavor comes
Is-
from a gland above a
yeah,
bee's
I
eggs?
imagine so. Natural flavor is a very, very misused word
Right?
and confusing to some. Can I see the can? That's really cute. I like the label. There's like a bitterness at the end, right?
I just ran off and got glasses for myself.
And for me.
And
Thank
for you. You're welcome.
I'm just gonna
is
remain
there any-
blind.
You remain blind. Is
I
there
like
any
the label
other-
though.
Well, you guys were looking at that. I was distracted because back on the top of the box, there are 4 individual whales that have been named on this. And there's a little bit
Like
about
whales
each
that have
of the
been
whales.
tagged.
Heck, yeah.
Oh, so that's where Mike comes from.
Yeah.
This is Mike. Hey, Mike.
This is Mike.
We're drinking Mike, also known as J26.
We're also drinking Mike and speaking into Mike's.
It's true.
Such a dad thing. to say.
Do this.
Mike is the
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Scott
That's
does
the
that now. We
classic
call
move.
that classic Rick.
Yeah, because Rick's the oldest person we know.
No, but that's all he did a
me.
lot when we were
Yeah.
talking to him. It was always this.
And
It's
now
like I
and
feel
now
like I'm in
get it.
trouble all the
And now I get
time.
it. What we're describing is we're both wearing 2 out of 3 of us are wearing reading glasses now, and
Well, I am
we're
too,
doing-
but I just not
doing
wearing
the,
it.
The peekaboo, the over top, looking over top, not to be mistaken with Over the Top the movie. with Sylvester Stallone.
That will be reenacted later.
Yes, fantastic movie. It totally holds
Ugh.
up. Mike is the oldest of the 4 whales identified on here.
That explains the bitterness.
And how old do you think Mike is?
I think Mike is 35.
Okay, I thought you were going to nail it. It was, Ray, do you have a pick? Did you already read it?
No.
Are you cheating?
Am I way off?
You're very close.
Oh, 32.
Correct answer is 30.
Okay, I knew it had to be.
30-year-old
You said
Mike.
the oldest because whales live a lot longer than aquariums tell you they live.
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's very true. He's from J-Pod.
Aw.
Hey,
remember-
J-Pod.
you remember
He's got a
J-Pod.
gang sign.
Yeah.
He's got a fin sign.
And that's, so we're drinking Mike. Here's to Mike.
Cheers, Mike.
Let's hope no one poaches you and kills you.
Who poaches
Or
killer
traps you
whales?
and throws you in an aquarium.
Yeah.
Wow.
Congratulations on 30 years of surviving without humans killing you.
How do they really know he's 30, though?
They count the lines in his tummy.
Well, they actually
Cut him
have,
open?
they actually have him in captivity.
They've actually
They
been
just let
monitoring.
him out once or twice a
Ethan.
day to just swim around.
Well, they also go off of size, but they also monitor these whales for way longer than you think.
Apparently, at least 30 years.
Yeah. So it's also size and way they look.
I was hoping you'd say.
I'm sorry, did you say it's also size and willy look?
No, the way they look. They check his willy. We're just going to nail. I can't say nail these whales.
No.
Well, whatever you do in your own time. Is there anything else?
As he takes the beer can away from her.
Yeah.
I like it. It's a fine ale.
It really is. There's nothing spectacular going on.
It's kind of a low grade IPA.
I was saying it does taste a little bitter. I actually wouldn't label it as an ale.
So this
like a lightweight IPA.
The ingredients are water, barley, rice, hops, yeast, hibiscus.
Why the rice?
And as you said, natural flavors.
Well, the rice, that just reminds me of Budweiser when they put the rice in it, right? Or is that corn?
Both.
Both. They just throw all the carbs in there.
Whatever the cheapest grain you can get.
Mm.
Yeah,
it's perfectly fine. It is a little bitter at the end, though.
It's not. Yeah, it is a. To me, it's an IPA. It's just a.
Yeah,
it's not an IPA.
It kind of is.
I get a little bit of I get a lot of sweetness to it. There's immediate punch to my mouth when I first take it in,
which is the hoppiness.
It's not hoppy to me. It is. It's interesting. Okay.
It tastes like they not fresh hopped it, but there's hops added later, like not when you're supposed to, but
like
after
flavor to me.
There's definitely an after. Yeah.
Okay.
There's definitely an after flavor. That's what I'm saying. It's like a light IPA.
Okay, I gotta accept your opinion.
But I also think it's kind of like, isn't red ale normally just? Isn't
you are out of order?
Isn't red ale?
Whose show is this?
That's right.
The name
this
Rosé.
Isn't a pint with friends. This is a pint with assholes.
Wrong.
The name Rosé is kind of confusing because I would have thought, they put it in some kind of barrel with rosé in it or something.
No, that's the hibiscus is the flower that changes the color.
Yeah, but people are naturally going to think of wine.
Right.
And that's, but I would call it a red ale or something then, right? Isn't that how red ale is this color, isn't it?
No, this is
darker.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, more deeper?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I think people would be confused expecting a rosé pale ale because that's all people relate it to.
Right.
It's just an interesting name they came up with.
I don't
versus
love it.
hibiscus, putting the word hibiscus in the name.
Okay, so rate it 1 to 5.
I would say it's as far as I would say it's a 2.
Oh,
I don't say it's terrible, but I just think I've had some really amazing beer.
It's not a terrible beer. It's just
no
run of the mill.
But would you buy it again at the store?
As an individual, no. I would. I don't know about the rest of the pack, so I can't say.
No, but individually, would you pick it like that?
I wouldn't. No,
but if someone gave it to me at a party or something, and like, fine, I'd be cool with it.
I would.
I do agree that the naming is a little off. Because when I first read it and it said rosé, my first thought is rosé wine, which is a mix of red and white.
That's what most people would think.
So I thought it was kind of, and I guess that's what it is. It's, like I said, it to me, it seems a bit like an IPA light. It has that hoppy
it's also
bitterness. So that's
the second
that's the
highest
red.
alcohol.
Like you were saying that you got that sweet burst right away. Well, there's the white. If we're using a rosé comparative.
Could you bringing it together?
I didn't notice the sweet very much.
I didn't either.
My palate for sweet tends to be, it's sort of mild, and then overpowering.
Yep.
That's just me, probably because as a child, I either didn't eat sweets or ate the most saccharine-filled bits of garbage I could stuff in my gob.
Yeah.
So I didn't notice the sweet as much. I certainly noticed I got a very distinct hoppy aftertaste with it. It's not terrible.
I agree.
It's not great.
It's very hoppy to me.
I think people would look at it and go, oh, rosé, and then taste it and be like,
confused.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But
it's not a terrible beer. It's just confusing with the name, like you said.
True.
And it's definitely got hop to it. You remember when we tried the hop water once after we brewed a beer? We decided to try
Yeah.
That's what it reminds me of, but that's just.
Ooh, doesn't remind me of that. That was very yeasty.
Well, I'm just saying that it's like they put a dash of that hop water in.
Okay.
But that's just like dry. Did they dry hop it at the end? What did they do?
Dash of hop water. Another one of my favorite bands.
It's not terrible. Like I said, it's fine. It's just confusing to someone.
Go.
Stop.
Duck.
Yeah. Ooh.
Okay.
What's the name of that whale?
Number 2. Tahlequah. Wait.
Tahlequah?
I don't know. I don't know if I've said that correctly.
Tahlequah?
How would you say that?
Tahlequah.
Tahlequah.
Oh, okay. Because wasn't Ucluelet the whale that went to SeaWorld?
Well,
Maybe.
if they did, they got out.
No.
Because J35.
No.
is
That one's dead. But I'm just saying.
and this story went
That was shocking.
totally
If
left.
you watch the SeaWorld, the documentary on the orcas, then you'll know what I'm talking about. But
So this is a.
I just thought maybe they named another one after it or something.
Right. This is a Pacific Gose, and it is 4.8%. And you are going to be getting water, barley, wheat, oats, hops, yeast, seaweed,
Ooh.
lemon peel, and natural
See, that
flavor.
makes sense, the seaweed thing. Like, if you're going to do like an orca kind of beer,
That's
to throw some sea
What I
stuff in.
should have done is read.
I will raise an objection to that line of thinking. Because if you're going to go, well, if we're going to do orca stuff, we might as well have seaweed. Well, then we should also have baby seal,
No, I'm saying like.
right? Like some really foul flavors.
No, but it's
that I don't
something that
think need to
related
be.
to the sea, like salt. Like a salt, like the thing I bought today where it was sea salt in it. I would expected that in one of these beers, but it doesn't look like there's any sea salt in any of
Kelp.
those.
A little bit of kelp. What is
Yeah.
the krill.
Krill is tiny
krill.
little shrimps.
Yeah.
What gray whales eat?
Love a
Yep.
love a krill ale right now.
Ooh. It'd probably just all taste the same.
What
It'd
I
be
should have
so-
done at the beginning of this.
There's still a little mic.
Was read out. Read out? I should have read all of the beers that we'll be having today. So I'm going to do that.
Wait,
So-
can I say one thing? The last one we had, the mic, which is also, I don't think they needed a name. They should just call them the name of the whales for the one thing. Like, just call this beer Mike. That's the second highest alcohol, 5.2.
You are correct.
Yes. The other one is the Bock, or what is that? I can't read from here.
Hell's Bakken.
That's 6.8%. We should say that one for the last.
No, we're doing like Russian roulette here. We're
So
just
which one are we
picking it
having
up.
now?
So right now is the Pacific Gose,
Tahlequah.
Okay.
Tahlequah, which is the 4.8. So we have a Pacific Gose, which is from Mayne Island Brewing. This is what the second beer that we're having. The first one was Boy Brewing, the Rosé Pale Ale, 5.2. Then we also have the Ucluelet Brewing Hellesbach. And then the one that I'm most excited about from Ace Brewing is the Plum and Rosemary Saison.
I'm excited about that. Rosemary and beer is really good.
But here we go.
Okay, this one smells
Pacific
nice.
Gose. Love a Gose.
Me too.
Sucking that in.
Yeah, I heard that.
Ooh, very salty.
Ooh. Oh, there is some salt in this.
Little. Yeah.
That's
That's
a
a
really, that's like
lot of
salt
salt.
water.
This is salt water.
This is drinking the orca's pee.
That was my favorite novel as a child.
Yeah. Weirdly enough, the Dr. Seuss one they
But-
didn't take off.
So this definitely has some sea salt in it.
Yeah, you can see it.
Very much so, like really strong.
Like I can see sediment floating around in here. Now, to be fair,
Is that salt floating around?
I don't know if Gose beer, is that how you pronounce it? Gose?
Yeah.
Naturally looks like this.
That's very murky.
Well,
It is murky.
There is
kinda
definite
cool.
there is definite sediment floating around.
We need a microscope.
Not in the beer that's been sitting for too long, funky collected on the bottom sediment.
No, it's just everywhere.
but
It's just everywhere.
It's kind of hypnotic the way that it looks. I'm kind of impressed.
Do you think that's the salt?
Because most of that stuff tends to get dissolved.
or settles,
Yes.
right? Like this is floating around.
I bet you that's salt. Like the little salt goobers.
Now, taste-wise,
What was the other ingredients in this?
I am not loving it.
No,
The
this is
salt.
when you said salt water. That's
Yeah.
exactly
That's what it
this is.
tastes like.
Yeah.
Salt water with
like
hops in it.
Well, no, I don't even get hops.
I get a little hop.
I get salt.
This is like I got a mouthful of the Pacific Ocean. I went swimming.
We are trapped on a raft, and we're drinking salt water.
Okay.
And we're gonna die.
Well, okay, isn't
It's not
seaweed
that-
already salty?
It's not that salty.
But isn't seaweed
Close.
already salty though?
Yes, of course.
So
Yes.
is it just from the seaweed itself, or are they adding more
Oh.
salt to it?
Maybe. No, you're probably right.
Also,
lemon peel. I don't get any of the lemon.
But this is by far the most
interesting.
interesting Gose I've ever had.
You know, the smell You know what, though? It does remind me of the ocean a little bit.
It reminds me of the ocean a lot.
Mm-hmm.
No, even the smell. There's something about, you know what it smells like? You know when you're standing in the jetties and the little rock pools between the, that's what it smells like to me.
The jetties. Can you tell us a little bit about the whale that goes along with this beer?
Where's it at?
Is this Tahlequah?
Yeah,
So,
Tahlequah.
Tahlequah, otherwise known as J35. 24 years old, J Pod. They don't give sex. They don't give.
Well, I'm assuming it's a female.
Frequently.
Why?
It's got to be a female.
There's Wave Walker, Tahlequah, Mike, and Solstice.
Wave Walker.
So.
Whoa, is that like Game of Thrones?
I kind of feel like Mike.
The Wave Walker is coming.
The Wave Walker's coming.
Mike kind of got shafted in the name
I know, right? He didn't get Tahlequah, whatever.
Tahlequah?
Yeah.
Wave Walker.
And Solstice.
I want a cooler name like Wave Walker. That's Jesus, isn't it?
No.
That's Jesus. And, of course, Mike.
We've got Wave Walker, Tequila, or whatever the hell her name is, and then Mike.
That's kind of like George Foreman.
Is it like Mike because Mikey likes
Naming
it?
I was going to say, yeah, so George Foreman naming all of his sons George whatever, and then adding their last son Dave to the mix. It's just...
You know, they let
really?
someone's
Mike.
child
No,
name
I
it.
don't know. But
George, Frank. George.
yeah.
But you know what? I do love human names with animals. I think it's hilarious if you have a dog named Bob.
Yeah,
I
but
love
think
that.
if we get a dog, we're going to name it Wave Walker
No, we're going to name it like Kevin.
or Sir Barks-a-Lot.
Look at the couch. Look at what Kevin's doing over there. He's licking his ass. Kevin is licking his ass.
So
now, Kevin is a great name for a dog. It was actually the name of a great dog that is now tattooed across my friend Betty's back.
Oh.
So the name Kevin for dogs has been taken.
Oh,
Sorry.
dang it.
But
I've been naming
rest
everything Kevin,
assured
though.
That the animal that bore that name wore it with great dignity and pride. Well, none of the assholes that hung around at the same time were doing anything of this sort. Kevin was a radiant dog.
Well, I've been naming things Kevin for a while. I
have?
named my parent the orange tree I brought back from Orlando.
Is that what
Kevin.
calls your junk?
No.
We're going to Kevin Town tonight.
No, that's Free Willy. No.
Free Willy. And you get to does she stand on rocks and you get to jump over her, drifting your water
Wait.
droplets across her brow?
just waiting for my moment to shame myself.
I'm just going to say, I can say something even worse than that as the rocks or the boobs.
To the booze.
I'm just trying to bring
I
a
was going to
picture
say
to it.
she names it Sir Disappointment.
Oh.
You,
know.
why would you
Self-
disappoint yourself? That's so bad.
Self-deprecation.
But
is
she
my
calls
jam.
it
Yeah.
Sir.
Yes, it was knighted.
Much respect.
Why? Because she closed her eyes? It's like it's night.
It's because he's been circumcised and he's been knighted. So
Wow. Because you. So if
this is going really wrong.
every male with a circumcised penis is now a knight,
Yes.
because
Yeah.
I've had the blade placed upon my peni.
You're now a Sir Ray.
Sir Ray.
I am from Surrey.
I'm going to try and bring the
Oh, wow.
focus back to the beverage now. Okay, we're halfway there. We're halfway home.
We're drinking salt water. I need a fish. Will a saltwater fish survive in this?
No.
I'm a little bit disappointed in this beverage now.
Yeah.
I'm not going to finish it. I've drunk even
I'll
less than
finish
I
it.
did of the first one.
Give me the salt.
I don't want to slam the beers. I do admire the chutzpah and going for it and trying it. I don't typically like it. I don't dig it, but I respect it.
Yeah, look, it's especially with packs like this, which is we don't know anything about. The whole idea of it might just be an opportunity for them to experiment with flavors and tastes,
You're
right?
100% right.
I have a great use for this beer. You know when you go to the dentist and you get a tooth pulled and they tell you to rinse your mouth out with salty water?
Oh yeah,
It's perfect. You can just have beer.
crack a cold one.
That's brilliant, actually. I'm getting a whitening and some Tahlequah.
I'm prescribing you some tequila.
Tahlequah.
Why can't I say this? never gonna do this.
No.
Once I say it wrong, it stays there.
You should.
But I wholeheartedly agree. This is not a. Well,
I would drink it.
J35. It's easier to pronounce.
Oh, I think they should just call the names the actual names of the whales.
So I'm going to pick out the third beer because I want to have White Walker so we can save Solstice till the end.
Is Solstice the 6.8%?
No, we're going to do that
we're
right
gonna do that.
Oh,
now.
okay.
We're gonna have the Plum Saison last.
I hope I'm not going to bring it.
Oh,
Well, look,
Plum and Rosemary sounds so nice
the
together.
The first one wasn't terrible.
You know what,
This
though?
isn't-
The Plum's going to be great because it's an ace brewing. It's going to be aces.
The Tahlequah beer isn't terrible.
No, none of them are terrible.
It's unappealing.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes difference. There are okay. Have you ever had Colt 45? Have you ever had I Love Beer? Have you ever had Black Label? These are shitty beers.
Yes.
This isn't a shitty beer. It's just an unsuccessful attempt to come up with a new flavor sensation, or not. If this is exactly what they were going for, awesome. Would I recommend it? No.
No.
Of the two, like the Rosé, it was okay.
Well, yeah,
I'd give
so
this
far,
a 2.
so far, both of them are
Yeah.
just
I
like,
give it a 2 just because it's not offensive,
yeah.
Right?
right? Like a 1 would be offensive. A 0, well, how would you give it a 0 if you would have to not try it?
Yeah.
No, but really,
Yeah.
like I
Yeah.
could,
Yeah.
you know, so this.
To be fair, compared to shit beers, this is good.
Oh yeah.
If someone served this to me, I would totally drink it. Like, I'm going to finish off this salty beer.
Did you end up getting 4 glasses for each of us?
I just thought we would go back and forth.
Yeah, I've got 2.
Okay. No.
Are
You
we
have 1 and I have 1 you just stole.
You
No,
didn't
you've
finish
got-
this one.
I know.
Yeah.
Wow. I really
Yeah,
haven't
yeah,
drank
yeah.
a lot.
What is you
So I
lightweight?
have 2 and you have 2.
Why aren't you?
Lightweight,
Why
I'm
aren't you
just-
like
I don't want to just guzzle something I don't enjoy.
swallow? Learn to swallow.
That's, you heard it here first, folks.
Learn to swallow.
Learn to swallow.
God damn.
Wow.
Which one was the salty beer?
There's so many things that are floating around in my brain,
Yeah.
none of which have anything to do with beer. Or don't pour that into my glass. You have your 2 glasses of shame over there. That's mine.
I'm pouring it
Oh, is
for
this
you.
new?
Oh.
Yeah, this is new.
Oh, this is new.
Oh, come on.
dare
I'll
you.
just
I
finish.
thought. What do you mean? How dare I? I know you. You would try to pawn off.
I finished off your beer for you because you can't finish it.
Thank you.
Wow.
Can I pour you a glass?
Okay. Oh wait, don't. I needed to do that at a comparison. This has the exact same. Yeah. Hey, learn to swallow, not regurge.
Spit.
It was there. Okay. That is my salty beer.
So this looks. This
So I'm going to
looks more like a
cross-contaminate
pale
this
ale.
with this beverage. Ooh.
Well, I was just helping you get clean up get some glasses ready.
Thank you. An aggressive pour. This is the Hellenbach 6.8 from Ucluelet Brewing called Wave Walker.
Not Helen. Hell's.
Damn it.
Put your
Hellsbach.
glasses back on.
Hellsbach. Probably won't.
Put your glasses on.
That's
Or
my
Hella's.
Hellesbach.
Hellesbuck.
Hellesbach.
Okay, well it's strong. It smells like a strong beer.
Oh my God, Scott. I went to go get your water,
Oh, and it's got
and it's great flavor.
yeah.
The 9-year-old in Scott.
Learn to swallow.
But I was expecting just water, and I got grape.
That now has to become a T-shirt.
Learn to swallow.
A pint with friends.
Now, because I need a different glass, I'll be right back. You guys tell me and talk about it. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Can you fill my water up with actual water, not child's play? Okay.
Please continue.
Okay. Okay. I haven't tried it yet because I have grape in my mouth.
Okay, this is nice. Like many strong beers, you get a bit of an overwhelming.
Is this the Plum and Rosemary?
No, this is the Hellesbach.
Hellesbach, Wave Walker.
This is Wave Walker.
Okay, this one's.
It's the strong beer. So it smells like a strong beer
I don't mind this one though.
because there's nothing. They didn't take this beer and do anything with it.
It has
they
more,
just gave it a name. This is just your basic strong beer.
But it has more body to it than the other ones.
No, it's nice. It's not overpowering.
And take a drink too, because that might help you.
Like strong beers tend to have that really high alcohol flavor.
Yeah.
this doesn't have that, which is nice.
Well, this is 6.8%.
Which is pretty high for a beer, right?
All right, I'm back. So because I poured it into that salty glass.
Oh, that's a mistake. Yeah.
Barf.
Yeah.
The it's more of an orangey golden color versus the other one was like a red.
Yeah, that's true. This looks more like a pale ale.
Yeah, it's a little darker though.
So
Amber is the right color. If you put a little dinosaur bug in there,
if I could
it'll look like the
remember
thing in Jurassic Park.
what a Bock style of beer was, Vancouver Island Brewing used to make something, I think it was an ice Bock, and I think it was called Herminator, and it was really, really strong, and it was tasty.
Herminator was good.
It was very good.
Yeah.
This kind of has that, but I don't remember what distinguishes a Bock style.
To jump to another
But this is
beer
strong.
brand, Daggerad,
Yes.
the Surrey Brewing, they make a lot of strong beers. In fact, I think all of their beverages
I
are
love
strong.
Daggerad.
Yeah.
But their very first one that I can't remember its name, but the one that I
Aren't they like German brewing? Like, what is their beer? They're strictly
it's
like
all strong beer. It's
no,
all
but they're strictly like German or something. Like, I know they're strictly one type of beer, like one kind of.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I can't remember, but I love Daggerad. I love their logo and
Yes.
everything about it.
But continue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry.
But like that's what this reminds me of. Strong but not overpowering. There are some strong beers that the alcohol the aftertaste is terrible,
Yeah.
horrifying, and this isn't bad at all. This is quite nice. Of the three, to me, this is the nicest, simply because I think this is the most straightforward beer. The other ones they've added a lot to. They've tried to do all of these lovely flavor, samplings and trials. For my palate, this one just comes across
Yeah.
as just being beer.
No, I like this one.
Nice, simple beer.
So far,
heavy.
this is the one I would drink the most.
Yeah, I wouldn't guzzle it, but
I would.
I agree with you both. I think the other two are sort of swinging and reaching for the fences.
yeah.
They're definitely
They're
that
trying something?
salt one was definitely trying to be like the pod pack.
This one is
Yeah.
a little bit more straight down the line, and it is a stronger style. I still don't love it, though.
Right.
Really, you're
Yeah.
just not liking anything from this pack.
And I feel bad
No,
saying
you're not
that.
loving it. You're not hating it, but you're not
No.
liking it as much.
You don't need to feel bad. These people didn't pay you to do this. It's an honest. Well, no, but
Well-
it's
But that's it. That's
but it's an
being-
honest opinion. That's
Yeah.
the
Do you
point of having
think
a
like when
podcast.
they do packs like this, do you think they're never as good? Have you had a good 4-pack of a collaboration that's been good?
Oh, I'm sure I have.
I'm going to be honest. I don't know that I've ever bought a 4-pack where all 4 beers were just different.
I don't. That's what I'm trying to think too. If we've ever had a
we usually
good.
buy singles and we do our own sort of theme.
Or you're buying a dozen and you're getting 3 of 4 different flavors.
Right, that's true.
Which I just recently did
Mm-hmm.
with a sour pack that was
But was it different breweries?
no,
Okay.
and that's another thing about this.
Belgian. Sorry.
This seems very. Excuse me.
You're talking about Daggerad.
Yeah,
Belgium.
Dagrad's Belgian.
This is more of an art project than it is a beer project.
I appreciate where they're going. I appreciate
Yeah.
they're raising money for stuff. I want them to raise money for whales as well.
Salmon.
Salmon's great. Save the salmon, sure.
Yeah, but you're not saving the salmon. You're simply feeding the salmon to the whales.
The whales need a lot of help. Like they're
And a lot of salmon.
that's one of my biggest passions is whales
Yeah.
and cetaceans in general.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that they're doing anything to like help is awesome. I still recommend buying this pack because you are helping with the salmon population, although they're going to die from eating from being eaten by orcas.
Yep.
But also that's not their main diet.
No, they eat tons
So
of
they
stuff.
don't rely on salmon.
No.
True.
So that's kind of a misconception there.
And
but yeah.
and everything relies on salmon.
No, but salmon's still important for
no,
sure.
but I mean like the sea lions and the otters
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
stuff that the orcas actually tend to feed on probably more.
Mm-hmm.
They live off of the salmon and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, and look, this is gonna sound kind of terrible, but you could save yourself the $15 the 4-pack costs. Donate that $15 to
I-
save a salmon or a whale,
or donate
and
to
just
a
buy
great,
beer, or just buy beer that you really enjoy.
donate to a great cause that
yeah.
helps
Any-
eliminate captivity of
or anything that you
cetaceans, like,
love, you know. But
yeah, No, but if you're going to go for the cause of
Right.
the environment, it could be donated to. What is it, 10%?
$1 of each pack.
So it's not that much.
Nope.
So you may want to take your money and donate it fully. If you believe in the salmon thing, then you should donate it fully.
True. I agree with you. By the way,
But
this
I'm
is
still on the. I still think it's a great concept. I wish more companies would do it.
Oh, it's a brilliant idea. And I like Scott, I feel kind of bad not being able to go, yay, this is super dope.
right.
But the honest opinion is, to me, it's not. But look, the last time I was on your podcast, we did that. What was that company? And they were terrible.
Oh, the chocolates, the mint
Oh,
chocolate.
their Christmas special of
we actually
garbage.
dumped those out. I could not physically handle having those. In
I honestly stopped a lady from buying some of their
Did
product
you
at a
really?
liquor
Oh,
store.
I
I'm like,
think
don't do it. And she's like, why not? Have you ever had it? And I'm like, not that particular flavor. But we bought this sample pack, and it was trash. None of this is terrible. What we're having right now.
No, I still think you should buy it to
I think
support the
it's-
cause.
yeah,
and,
and
you know what? You can get a
and you might
salty
like
beer.
it.
And that's the thing.
Yeah.
You might love it. You might think that rosé is just all the IPA rosé goodness that you
Yeah.
want. That
Just don't
saltwater
expect rosé.
Gose might just be right up your alley. Like we had something earlier, excuse me, just a touch of salt in it. I don't know what that
Pineapple.
the pine.
The pineapple, nautical pineapple sea salt. I
Yeah.
can grab it.
Please do.
Boom, just enough salt in there to make it awesome,
Yep.
but not enough to ruin any of the other flavors. Like
Fantastic summer beverage.
yes, very much so. The other one that we just had, Tahlequah, I think is aspiring to be.
Yeah, okay.
That?
So this one was Slackwater Brewing, and it's a nautical nonsense pineapple sour with pink sea salt.
Great.
And
Boom.
You know what's great is
Knocks it out of the
I
park.
think what the graphic designer was trying to do is they put pineapples in an ocean to look like coral.
Oh, I like it.
Is that what that's happening? Is that what's happening there?
I see what you're saying.
So I saw they were putting this out today when I was at the store, and I was like, well, I guess I got to get that.
I don't want to bag on Marine Island Brewing, but
No.
the Pacific Gose
Maine.
Main Island Brewing
Put your
Maine
glasses
with a
back
Y.
on.
is
Maine with a Y.
It almost feels like they accidentally dropped a lot of salt into the beer more than they intended.
I think seaweed is
and
super
then it's-
salty.
Yeah, I think you're.
I
how
think
could
it's
it not be?
extremely salty.
I know,
I'm
but-
not a
But it
fan
feels
of
like
the.
a mistake. It feels like
Have you
something
had dry
went wrong.
seaweed?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it salty?
Yes.
So that's probably what they're doing is putting dry seaweed in,
Could be.
not fresh,
Yeah,
but dry.
Again,
But it's kind of like the coconut, not coconut. It's kind of the cucumber thing, right?
Oh,
Cucumber
yeah.
is this weirdly sort of flavor, but if you put in the perfect combinations of things, it's the most inspiring and delightful thing. And I would imagine that seaweed and other things like that, it's a balance thing.
Mm-hmm.
The seaweed in and of itself will have zero flavor. It's basically just floating pulp.
Yeah.
Right? But it will absorb that flavor. And I think if you just got the right mix, but then I'm not the one who's creating this. This isn't my painting. I'm simply looking at it and going, those colors don't seem to trigger my brain.
No, I think
in any way.
not a true beer because everybody's beer is different. It's like a beer that I normally love is when all the flavors blend together beautifully when you're drinking it. Like it's like a music going off of my mouth, like
Sure.
like an orchestra. I don't know,
poetry.
poetry in my mouth. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so when it just is straight up salt water, it seems. But I was trying that one with the salt again, and it tastes more buttery now since it's been sitting there.
Okay, so I'm gonna reach over and grab a sip of that.
Yeah, it's more.
I'm not sure that butter is going to help that flavor.
No, it's not. It's.
Still don't like it.
I know you don't, but I'm saying it's changing as it's sitting here. There's less floaties. Well, there's still some
No,
floaties.
I could see I can
there's
see
still
it from
floaties,
here.
But it is changing as I'm.
Now, the one thing that appeals is what the
Appeals.
hell's going on with that glass.
Right.
Visually, it looks really, really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't
yeah.
know how they've done that.
It's like
you know
it's
what
like
it looks like? You know what it looks like?
a science project.
What it looks like is aloe.
Yeah. I was gonna say like a gel, like when you look at an
Yeah.
aloe and it's just all sitting in there.
Yes.
Yeah. It's gooey.
There's a bit of a lava
it's
lamp
not
thing.
thick.
Well, not lava lamp, but aloe. Aloe makes sense.
Yeah, I hope not. There's no. Oh,
Oh, that's the orca box.
I know.
wait. I'm going to rinse my glass.
Okay.
And we will
Yeah,
pause.
you could just cut that out.
Oh, what, me saying that?
No,
it's
I'm
all
saying
good.
we can. It doesn't matter. We'll
I'm just
keep
going to cut it
running.
out after.
I don't want to mess with any recording because it's sounding good right now.
Go do your thing.
Your table's like mine.
We forgot to take a commercial break, so let's take a commercial break right now.
Cool.
We'll be
So
right back.
Wow, this is like a heart attack waiting to happen. Like all the salt.
The last amount doesn't matter if it's in here.
Movies.
Did you just drink all the salt?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And it was gross, right?
Oh, it's too much. Oh my God.
That's staying in the podcast.
Oh,
Hey, Shannon, remember, learn to swallow.
Yeah.
I'm getting lime flavor. Is there lime in that?
Just a lot of salt.
It tastes limey now. Wow, I get drunk so easy now. I used to be the person who survived the last.
Just drink.
That doesn't mean you weren't drunk. That just means you can go a long time.
I can't go a
thank you,
long
sir.
time.
Just
Hey,
Just-
listen.
just drink through it.
One of my all-time favorite memories will be you.
Shanny Gra?
Bunch of pussies. Glug 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 glug. Stumble stumble stumble. Bam.
Yeah.
And it was just like,
Whoa.
did she do that on purpose? I don't know, but it was awesome.
That's awesome.
It was so
That
good.
was an epic night because that's when Rick got fucked up too.
The two twin towers that normally outlast everyone
Yeah.
fell that night.
Shanny Gra is a very dangerous party to go to.
But wasn't that also the beginning of Rick's tincture taking moments? Wasn't that pretty early on? Because
maybe.
I think he was double dipping, and I don't think he was
Yeah.
quite ready for how powerful it was.
He wasn't ready for Shanny Gra.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't.
No one was.
And no one is. Come on now.
I think he partaked in tequila night too.
And that was, I remember the moment in my mind where I went, as a spouse, where there's that moment where you're just like, you hit the gas or you hit the brake.
Right.
One of us is going to make it out of this alive. One of us has to be the grown up. One of us is going to have to clean this shit up tomorrow.
Right.
Oh, just leave me
And I
there.
hit the
I'm totally
brakes.
cool. No, wait, you don't have to. Just leave me there. I'm cool with waking up in weird
We
spots.
did leave you there.
Yeah, I'm cool with waking
For
up.
hours.
I
Dude.
just didn't decide to join you.
Dude, I fell under a car once and stayed there for a while.
Nice.
Yeah. That's my wife, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
You can follow her on Instagram, Starwhale75.
That was also the night that I called Josh a bitch.
You done being a bitch? Classic night.
And the
Oh,
answer to
boy.
that question is no.
And he found out I used to love Def Leppard when I was young.
Who
And he
didn't?
kept playing Def Leppard on the TV. I remember Def Leppard kept playing. Oh,
No,
man.
Okay.
We played it once.
There was a lot of Def Leppard happening.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So this is Plum.
Okay, this is it. This is what we've been waiting for.
This is going to be the goal. This is
the-
rosemary and plum.
Rosemary and Plum
You
Saison.
can't go wrong, right?
Let's hope.
The foam is very pretty. It's like very white. Oh, that sounds bad though.
Very foamy.
No, but it's very clean. Like it's.
I can smell the Saison. Whatever.
It almost looks like when you froth like coffee froth. Like that's what it looks like right now. It's a very good foam.
Very crisp. Very clean. I do not get rosemary.
I do.
Do you?
Yeah. It's there. This might be my favorite out of the pack.
That's not saying much.
It doesn't end well.
I don't get plum. I don't get rosemary. I don't know what I'm getting. Other than there's a Christmas, which
A Christmas?
a
There's
cr-
Christmas
a
in there?
crispness I like.
I don't mind this one. I think I love it when things look super
No.
clean.
No. And it's a sour.
Is
I
this
don't-
sour?
I get.
No Saison.
This is not
Oh,
a
Saison.
sour. I was like,
Saison. Sorry. So this tastes like a
Get
Saison.
it right, or don't fucking come to this podcast ever again.
are we getting anything right? Probably not. I don't mind this one.
I make 900 mistakes a day.
This one at least gives me a little bit of like, this one is challenging me a little bit. I like this one. I think the rosemary, I can taste the rosemary. I know you don't like it, but I kind of,
Me neither.
No, I'm disappointed. I'm not getting the flavors as advertised.
There is rosemary in there.
If you hand
Okay, wait, stop.
If I handed this beverage to you and didn't tell you anything about it, would you get rosemary and plum out of it?
You will if you take a bigger mouthful. Okay, all rude jokes aside, but take it like, yeah. Now you'll get it. The plum will show up. The rosemary is absent in my mind.
I get a little rosemary,
I
like a
just
very
get-
faint rosemary.
I think I'm just tricking myself into thinking that, but that's what a Saison tastes like. The plum shows up very briefly.
I'm not 100% sure I could pick plum out of a fucking lineup if my
Okay,
life
to
depended
be
on
fair, you hate plums.
it. Do I hate plums? I don't know if I
Every time I buy a plum, you're like, I don't want it. They're skin, and you won't eat it.
I do not like plum skin.
No, or peach skin. So you
Racist.
just avoid plums. So you really don't know what a plum tastes like.
100% correct.
So plum is just
Your Honor, I agree with that statement.
yeah. So
yeah, but he knows what rosemary tastes like, and that is not here.
Not present.
it's there. It's just very faint. I can taste it.
Well, then put faint rosemary, like just hints of.
I've had beer with
Yeah.
rosemary in it, and it definitely was dominant. And it tasted rosemary beer is really nice. So it's definitely not 100% like tasting in this, but
Of the four, that one is my favorite.
the last one.
Yes.
Really?
However, I'm still disappointed.
I know you were pretty excited about the pod pack.
Yeah.
You almost put it back, but you didn't.
Look, it is what it is. Was it awesome? I didn't think so. Is it terrible?
No.
No.
I can tell you they filtered the shit out of this thing, and it's really clean looking. Like it was super
Oh,
clear. It was the foam was super
There-
like
none of
foamy.
yeah. I mean, they were again.
And I can tell you that I
I
got a little
almo-
buzz
I-
going
I-
on from
I-
all the beer.
I almost wish that when they do these collaborative works, there was a little like an insert in the box that was just like, look, this is sort of the goal. Like, not the overall, we're trying to raise money for a thing or,
Yep.
or make money, but as individual breweries, as the artists that are creating these things, as the brewmasters, this was what we were sort of going after. This was this taste tableau that we
Yes.
so that whether I enjoy it or not
Guide me.
isn't
Lead me. Tell me the story.
yeah, I don't need to like it. I just need to understand it. And I think part of this journey that I'm missing some instructions. I'm missing.
I agree.
I don't.
I do
I don't
think-
understand where they were trying to go.
Yeah.
So did I like all these beverages? Not particularly, but I wouldn't tell you they were bad. But I could never recommend to buy them or not buy them because these are never going to be mass produced.
No.
That wasn't the purpose. So I'm missing the purpose.
Well, the purpose is to raise money, but it's only $1
Okay,
per sale.
but that's secondary. That's
It
just
is
a
secondary.
lovely
it
thing.
is secondary
what-
because it's not that much percentage.
But even
Yeah.
still, what was the purpose of the brewers? What were they trying to do? And if I understood that, then I could go, oh, okay. It's like somebody explaining to me what a painter was trying to accomplish with a painting. Otherwise, I'm just looking at colors and images on a flat surface and deciding whether or not I like them. It's like holding a book but never reading it.
Right.
It looks nice, smells nice. It's
Well,
a book.
yeah,
I like books,
yeah.
but I don't know what it is. Okay, these are beers. Some of them I liked, some I didn't, but I don't understand the context in which these beers are being presented
Yeah.
to me.
Right.
So I
agree.
don't understand if the story's being told.
I would have liked to see more of a theme for the pod pack. I mean, the salt was a good choice, but I feel like they could have done better.
I
Like more,
agree.
I think it's maybe a hurried pack.
Or
Is it different every year? You say they do it every
think
year?
so- again, this
Because
was
maybe
something
years
I-
before it might have been better.
This was something I heard about several years ago, and then I don't know if it came up again.
No.
I guess to the Googles.
Google's
Oh, yeah.
the answer to all
But
questions.
I agree. Like when you were just describing something, all of a sudden in my mind I thought of like the four elements. What is it? Fire, earth, water,
and
whatever.
yeast or whatever.
I would have
The
wanted.
the
I
cooking
would have
thing?
wanted.
No, like
seaweed.
literally the,
Oh,
the four elements.
Earth, fire, water, and air.
Yes. Like that would be a great thing. And then each one of those beers has to achieve that.
Right.
So like the salt beer, the Gose, nailed the salt. But then what are we doing with the rosé? What are we like? They're just they're four. There's four different ideas not working together.
Right.
Other than we're contributing $1 to.
What's the brewery called?
the
The
salmons.
Vancouver Island Brewery.
Vancouver Island Brewing. So, and to Shannon, to answer your question, I don't know if they've done this 4 years in a row, but I just by chance caught it this year when I missed it 3 or 4 years ago.
Well,
and was
something's
searching
bothering
for
me
it and
because
could
my
never
nose
get
is
it.
running. Because
Interesting. Okay.
is there cream in one of them?
Cream?
I'm all congested now.
Could it have been any of
The
the...
wheat, the rice.
Maybe because
Yeah.
I cut all of those things out.
Right.
So it might be coming back.
Right,
Rice.
there's rice. Yeah, there's wheat.
Yeah, because I'm really congested now.
Wheat and
but that's
everything.
just me. That has nothing to
Interesting.
do with the pod pack. That's just me.
No, I think Ray, you just summed it up perfectly.
I was saying I like to see it more themed towards the ocean.
Yeah.
Like the salt was a good thing, but cut it back a little. Maybe you threw too much seaweed in the batch. Like I could have. I would like
but if that's what they were trying to achieve, which was creating a salty beverage, they nailed it.
It's a lot though.
I've never had a Gose with that much salt in it.
It's a lot of sodium in one beer.
Yeah.
So
I don't know what the other things could have been to sort of balance that out, but they were all doing four different separate ideas, and that's fine.
Or maybe that's
I
the
would
point.
put it towards
all
nature
the
in
orcas
general.
in a pod are very different.
No, but I would put
Whoa.
it towards nature in general. It doesn't actually have to be towards ocean. It could be. Should have been a fresh hot beer.
What really should have happened is there should have been a single shoe in each box with just a foot in it.
Oh, gross. Oh, yeah, because the foots they were fighting on the ocean.
But edible foot, like a little jello,
Yeah.
a little gummy foot.
Tastes like a little foot
Little,
fungus.
little CBD gummy, maybe.
I got the foot.
Hey, I win!
It's like New Orleans where you find the baby. You got the baby. Looks like a dingo.
What? No, the dingo.
Seinfeld.
The dingo ate my
The
baby.
dingo ate my baby.
I got a Loch Ness monster on my glass.
And
It's a dinosaur.
somebody's had too many samples.
It's the movie we just watched. The gorilla versus the dinosaur.
King Kong versus Godzilla.
King Kong versus Godzilla.
Oh my
It's
god!
Godzilla.
Yeah.
I'm
boy.
a guy who loves the monster movies.
You know what
watch
the
it?
pod
Of
pack
course I
has
did.
done?
I watched it the day it came out. I rented it.
Do you know what the pod pack has done? It's successfully
And it
got
was
us all.
horrible.
It successfully got us all buzzed.
Oh, 100%.
I was loaded before this happened, but
Yeah.
just to be
No,
fair.
but I'm feeling it now,
Oh.
and I have a runny nose.
Okay, with a handful of minutes left, do you want to talk about Godzilla versus King Kong and
Let's.
how much you?
Oh, hate it, hate it.
Yeah, well,
No, Ray loved it.
no, I
hated
didn't.
It.
I didn't love it.
Really, you love those things.
No, I
though.
look. I love monster movies, but the thing I liked about these, okay, as a child, what I really liked was it was a dude in a rubber suit who got to wreck
Yeah.
a fake city, which is my dream job, and it still is. Anybody in the podcast universe who hears this and needs a
Yeah.
fat dude to wear a rubber suit and wreck a city, I'm your guy. And when they did the remakes, they're monster movies. Let's like comic book movies and all that stuff. You have to tone your expectations down. So as long as there was a modicum of a story and shit gets blown up, I'm okay. The first Godzilla, modicum of story. In fact, you don't meet Godzilla until almost an hour into the film, and then those two, they have a big bash and all that shit gets wrecked. Dope. Kong comes out, which is set, age-wise earlier. Again, mostly it's a story about other stuff. Kong just happens to be a part of the film. Godzilla, King of Monsters. Same idea. There's an other story. Not great, perhaps, but there's a story nonetheless.
Yes.
And the monsters, the titans themselves, it's like The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead aren't what the story's about. They're like a virus. They're like COVID. They're just omnipresent. It's how we respond to them that these movies are about. Then we get to Kong versus Godzilla. Now, for those who have a generation like myself who have seen the original terrible films, there were two. There was the American version and the Japanese version. The American version came out, and it was basically just King Kong beating up Godzilla for an hour and a half badly. And then you have the the remake that the Japanese did, which was much more like the movie that just came out. There was sort of the primer fight, then there was the big follow-up, and then there was, of course, a third thing, because Godzilla doesn't really have time to beat up a monkey half his size. So we get to this modern remake, which has these 3 predecessor movies that have set up this universe that they exist in. It's got characters, it's got storylines, it's got concepts. And all of a sudden, you show up at Kong Island, and the storm has collapsed on the island, and they built a giant dome that Kong knows he lives in. But instead of just kicking a hole in the wall and fucking leaving, he just throws sticks into the ceiling every day as a bit of a minor fuck you, kind of like Jim Carrey in that movie where he would good morning, good evening, and good night.
Truman Show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, miraculously, said giant monkey wakes up unconscious and chained on a flat boat in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Wakes up and calmly just sits there and sort of looks at his bondage like, meh.
Oh, it's 11 here? Oh, okay, good. I'll chill the fuck
Yeah.
out then.
Yeah. Like, I just woke up from being unconscious. I'm in the movies, I don't know, tall like a mountain, but now I fit on the front of a boat, and the boat is fine.
What kind of forklift did they have to get that?
Well,
we're not going to talk about that.
How about the helicopters and the nets? Where the fuck did they come up with? How did they get them on the net? This is after Godzilla shows up, and Godzilla is an iguana. He's a giant swimming lizard, so he never needs to leave the water. But for some reason, he decides that he's going to jump up onto an aircraft carrier and fight the monkey on land. And miraculously, they're the same height.
Yes.
This is what happens in acting when guys like Robert Downey Jr. stand next to the guy who played Thor and realizes, I'm 4'3", he's 6'10". You're going to put me in a box and hold the camera low so we look like we're the same height. I love monster movies for their ridiculousness, for their absence of reality, yet with just, they're like a really terrible lie. You know it's a lie, but there's a hint of truth, and you're just going to hold on to that hint just to justify the rest of it.
Yeah.
Kong versus Godzilla didn't provide you with a hint of anything to hold on to. It was made for... Here's my analogy. King Kong versus Godzilla, the movie that just came out, while spectacular to look at, and you know all the CGI, is the equivalent of Return of the Jedi in the original Star Wars trilogy.
Okay.
It's where they took a movie and a story and a concept and went, you know what? We need to make this really stupid and for kids so we can sell toys. And that's what they did. They took these... I understand kind of what they were doing with it. This was being asked for and sort of demanded, and so they did this. Now Godzilla can go off and do its own things in those movies, and Kong can go off and do its things in its own movies.
Right.
And the monster universe can be at ease with, now you have Godzilla on the surface protecting the world, you have Kong under the world protecting us, and the two great protagonists never need to conflict ever again.
Right.
That doesn't mean that along the way you couldn't have spent 15 minutes and written a story.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, it is the most... Again, I love this shit. And this was...
It's almost like the executives like, I'm going to dabble in writing.
No.
I don't know.
This is somebody like, you've been in a band for 5 years, but the band's been broken up for 4, but you have a contractual agreement to make a second album.
Right.
And you show up just long enough to make the album,
Right.
get high, tell the other 4 band members how much you fucking hate them,
Right.
and go home.
Right.
Dun, dun, dun. Like, why does he need an axe? How did he build the axe? He can barely walk. He doesn't use his fucking hands. How did they create a forge to create weapons? Why would they have, they're monkeys, people. Why would they have created, okay, they're monkey people. They're not apes, they're whatever. Why would they have created a giant underground stone thing when they just, anyway.
What the fuck did they call the Middle Earth thing or whatever? There was some sort of thing that they passage that they
It's
went
just
through.
Middle Earth.
No,
No,
it had a name.
Oh, are you talking, what,
You're talking about
the naturally existing one or the, okay,
They dug a hole and they went through the center of the fucking earth.
and yet they needed
But they had a stupid name for it.
and yet they had to trick a monkey to go down a hole so the rest of us
Yes.
could follow him.
Right.
What?
I don't know.
You already dug the hole.
I don't
Yes.
get.
Why
I don't
didn't you
get
fill
any
the rest
it.
of them in?
So
Why didn't
much.
Godzilla just fucking ignore
And
him?
then went
But
to
why
the
is this other
hole and it
world
was
in the middle of the earth?
Yes.
There's like a
Why-
whole world of living animals
Why
there.
did he have to jump all the way down to realize that he needed to jump off a rock and flip upside down and walk on the fucking ceiling?
Yeah.
But the earth is like, the middle of the earth is like lava and shit.
Well, no,
Not in this reality.
Look,
It's like a
No,
lot
no.
of shit. It's
No,
there's
listen,
not
listen.
enough for a life form there.
The concept of the
what the fuck
the
was
hollow,
Earth?
hollow Earth, the hollow Earth.
Hollow Earth.
It's not the,
Oh,
the hollow Earth
Jesus.
theory
Dumbest thing
isn't.
ever.
Also,
well-
it's not hollow.
Look, it's not a unique theory. It's been around forever. The idea that they have the hollow Earth theory.
It's like the people who think the earth is flat.
No, it's different. It's like people who think
No,
that
they think it's hollow.
no, they don't actually think the middle's hollow. They think that there's giant caverns that exist within the planet's
But there's
surface.
not life in those caverns.
There's life that exists in lava.
They don't have sun.
They don't need sun.
But when
You're
they
talking
went
about
there,
giant
there was
monkeys.
daylight.
Of course there was.
When there was daylight, where are they getting daylight from?
You're
it
ask-
should be pitch black.
Yes,
It's the darkest you'll ever get. I would sleep great there.
you would because you'd already be dead. That's why you're there. 'Cause
Probably.
we buried you.
But I would also
7
be
miles
buried.
under the planet. Yeah, no. Look, there is no excuse for it. But then again, they made Pacific Rim.
Yeah, I didn't even
twice.
dawn on me now that
And
they're
I love robots and monsters. And fuck, are they bad?
Yeah.
How do they explain the daylight?
They don't. How do they explain?
don't explain a lot.
How do they explain a 300-foot tall
Is there a
dinosaur
Middle
thing that's
Earth?
fighting a 150 tall
Wait,
monkey?
Middle Earth had a sky.
And then they brought out a fucking robot fucking.
Yes, but that's not new. See,
Of course, it's not new, but it wasn't needed.
why it was
Other
if
than to join the two and like we can be friends and we should fight this robot guy.
right, but they could have done it better. Like,
Dumb.
and was it the fucking worst? Like, just remake Mecha Godzilla because
Yeah.
that's what he's supposed to be. Twisty arm fucktard. Sorry, getting worked
Godzilla's
up.
just supposed to
know.
have a relationship with a young blonde girl, and that's it.
No, that's King Kong.
Sorry, King Kong.
Godzilla's having a
Godzilla
really
had a girl though too.
yes, some young Asian. She's the only survivor, weirdly enough, of people who live forever and there are no children, and they make a big deal about the fact that there's no
Wait,
kids.
did she have ape sex?
No,
What?
How dare you?
I'm just saying. You.
his penis is this like the
You
size of your house,
I know. That's why I was confused because I was like,
and there's no
what?
learn to swallow in that situation. It's learn to drown.
That's like a waterfall.
No,
Don't go chasing waterfalls.
in Kong, in the movie Kong, they talk about the people that live on the island. That
Kong's dong.
they Kong's dong. That's a different movie.
I'm totally off subject.
And he ties it in a knot. Long Dong Silver, 27-inch penis when it was flaccid. He used to tie in a knot.
Is
Or
that
tied
like
in a bow.
the show where they make a hamburger?
Called Learn to Swallow.
No, what's the show where they make hamburgers and you
Puppetry-
watch it?
Puppetry of
Bob's
a penis.
Hamburgers.
Puppetry of the penis.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
Please continue.
listen, the only reason we're having this rant is because the pod pack was that unsuccessful.
Pretty design though.
It was beautiful.
Beautiful packaging.
Yeah, King Kong versus Godzilla, fun to watch. I'll buy it just because I own the other 4 and it's going to go into the library with the
Oh
movies.
God! Don't.
Oh
buy it.
God!
How bad were the humans in this?
Don't
movie?
show anyone that
My-
library.
I don't care if you look at it. It's filled with all sorts of other shit movies too.
No, I'm saying anyone you bring in on a date that library.
Oh, look, here's the reality about me and
That's who
dating. If
Ray
it ever
is.
happens, I can't talk about the movies that I like, the books that I read, or any of my hobbies because
No, you
apparently-
should though.
But apparently, all of these things just drive vaginas right the fuck up.
Not,
Why would a
no.
50-year-old man watch a comic book movie or play with models?
That
Well,
you're completely wrong. There is plenty of women out there who like those things.
That's true.
You're completely
That's
wrong.
the one.
You're completely wrong. If
Again,
that person is that way, then that person's an asshole.
Her loss.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But yeah, Kong versus Godzilla. Yeah, tripe.
I don't want to get into a whole other topic right now, but
Let's.
did you see the movie Tenant yet?
Oh
No, I have not.
Okay.
Well, you can't. You can only discuss it with me then.
Absolutely. But I'm going to tell you.
Is it
You
of the
need
ilk
to-
of the
It is the ilk of this is the last movie. There hasn't been a movie probably in the last 10 or 15 years
Yeah,
where
I
went
remember.
like, Holy fucking
I was on my
shit,
phone
this
most of the
is
time, but
great.
he was like, my mind is blown.
Yeah.
Like he was like, he was
But is
like,
it sort of the modern
he had like a
Inception?
moment.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You loved
it's
it.
Great.
You
It's
loved it.
Fucking great.
Awesome.
You'll absolutely love it.
I
And
remember parts of it.
We will leave it at that.
Cool.
I just
You'll
remember
enjoy it.
parts of it. I didn't fully focus on it.
I have not seen a movie in that long where I've been like, oh, this is wow, this is great.
You know what
Were
I
you
have?
Wait a minute? Were you high when you were watching it?
Not at all.
Okay, because that usually happens when
Do you know
you're
what
high.
I have a great desire for in film? And partly it's me. I love the Star Wars-y comic book movie, you know, blowy uppy shit. But something like Once Upon a Great Notion or One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, you know, those movies of the 60s and the 70s that they didn't have any of the special effects. It was just about simple stories, about the complexity.
story.
Yeah, about human interactions and that sort of stuff. And I'm sure there's lots of movies like that that exist that are going on all the time, but good ones. Like I don't know. I'm recently back on the Netflix and I'm flicking around and I'm trying all this stuff out and I don't know, man. There's just
I got to bring up a movie.
Do it.
Have you seen the movie Slacks?
no.
Yes.
I feel like we should bring it out for you tonight.
Okay.
We subscribe to Shudder, which is all horror films, because we love horror films.
Nice.
And
good.
it's about a pair of jeans that kills people.
Nice.
It's amazing.
It is amazing.
It chokes people, but also squeezes them to death if you're wearing them.
Ooh.
It's amazing.
Does it just
great.
reach up and grab you? Nice.
Kills people in a number of different ways.
Yeah, I can't even.
It's great.
How does it get around?
It walks.
Oh, you'll see.
Oh, the jeans just
It
get
also
Yeah.
it also cleans up the blood mess with the jeans. It like sucks it up.
so very
but never get stained.
Never
gets
gets
stained.
stains.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
just walks
the
along.
devil's jeans.
Exactly.
Like they start off with the girl wearing the jeans, and she's like, and she's like choking, like down
squeezed
there,
to death.
squeezed to death, and like squeeze her, and then she like explodes, and she
Does
explodes.
it cut her in half?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it's
Nice.
amazing.
Yeah. It's
It's
fantastic.
amazing.
But
It's
just,
the
but
best.
Just, just below the tramp stamp, so
Yes,
so we can
yes.
identify
Yeah.
her.
But they're
Exactly.
working.
Oh my God,
they're
that's
working at
nice.
sort of like a Benetton type of store.
Ooh.
It's just
So you're saying they deserve to die?
Yes.
yes.
Absolutely.
But what's amazing, I don't want to give it away, but the ending is amazing. And I can't tell you how amazing this
cannot.
movie is.
Yeah.
So if you have Shudder, you should watch Slacks
Absolutely
with
enjoy
two X's.
I have Tubi. which
SLAXX.
is- Have you seen Tubi?
yeah.
It has just the worst
Yeah,
of
it's
the
great.
worst. There's so
Great.
much goodness on there.
Hey, you can make it really
man.
bad and I'll love it. Any kind of like Shudder is my favorite like thing we subscribe to on occasion, especially at Halloween time when
We
do
watched it just a
we
ton
try
of
to do
horror
like
movies.
31 days of horror.
Yeah, it was great.
It was amazing. And we watched the best stupid ass movies.
But we watched some fantastic movies too.
But see, horror.
What was the one with the chick? It was like a 1960s movie. But it was like modern day, but she was living in the 60s.
Yeah, the name is not going to come to
But that
me
was amazing,
fast
too.
enough. Shit. Yeah.
I don't know.
We talked about it in a
movie
previous
made
podcast.
modern times.
Yeah, but she was a
Yeah.
witch. It was something like witches or
Yeah,
something. I played it because it said witches in it, and I was like, of course I'm going to watch something witchy.
it's not going to come to me in time.
Anyway, it was awesome.
doesn't
It was
matter.
awesome. It'll come to me.
We talked about it in a previous episode. On
We
Weird
did.
Have you
Together.
watched
We
the
did.
new Disney Witches? The one who played Catwoman in the Batman movie?
Yeah, we started
Which one
watching
was
that.
that?
It's got Chris Rock doing a voiceover on it. And
We
it's got,
started it, but we
yeah.
haven't finished. We
Yeah, we
watched the
haven't finished
first half of a first
Yeah.
episode.
Right.
Which means
That's a
you'll
movie.
never watch.
We will, because I usually go back, because we started watching another witchy
Anne
one, too.
Hathaway
Thank
nailed
you.
it.
There was another witchy one where there were an army.
Really?
What's
When
the
did you meet
witchy
Anne
one with an
Hathaway?
army?
That
It's
is
like a CW type
a
of thing.
TV show filmed in Vancouver. It's called Motherland.
Motherland, I think it is, which is
Yeah.
also witchy.
Again, you won't let me watch more episodes. It's
I
your
do.
fault.
We just run out of things to do.
I know. Guys, this was great. I'm sorry the beer was not spectacular. We tried it again. You
But
might
it
like
got
it.
me wasted.
We all got a little inebriated,
Yeah.
and isn't that what it's all about?
I'm drunk on whales.
It's a pint with friends. It's about sharing times and having good times.
Oh yeah, nailed it. And
Wait, before we do,
Yep.
you have to down something. Do that one.
Yeah, Scott. Learn to swallow.
Learn to swallow. All you have to do is open up your throat.
And let the mascara run.
It's better.
Oh boy.
Thank you for listening, everyone, and
Stay safe, enjoy responsibly, and support those that you love and cherish.
And buy
good.
a pod pack and find it interesting.
Yeah, please do. Just because we didn't like it doesn't mean you won't.
Yeah.
Right?
And support the salmon
true.
and
It's
the
art.
whales.
please subscribe to the podcast. Please go leave a review on Apple iTunes.
Yes.
Subscribe on Spotify. Follow
Leave us a message on
Leave us a
Anchor.
message on anchor.fm/apintwithfriends.
And watch Weird Together because it's another podcast that they do that's also awesome.
Thank you, sir. Until next time,
Peace out.
peace out.
I want to say goodbye, humans.